Hello and welcome to Foam at Five, presented by the Beer Fridge Podcast.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, hello and welcome to the Beer Fridge Podcast, your home real beer, real breweries, real opinions. As always, wherever you listen, make sure you subscribe, hit that ding-a-ling-a-ling to be notified of every single episode. Show your support by giving us a 5-star rating or show your official support by going to patreon.com/beer fridge podcast. My name is Gavin. I'm joined this evening by Callum for it's just you. Apparently, I've just pushed the wrong button there. There we go. For a new installment, a new kind of series. It might not be weekly, we'll just do it as and when, but a little bit of extra piece, some more kind of short form content for our regular listeners. And we're going to, a working title of Foam at Five. It could change.
What about
I kind of like it.
What about views at 6?
Uh,
Instead of the news at 6.
That's a good one, actually. That's a good one.
I could
You're
dress
on.
up like Moira Stewart.
You are having a beer, so tell us about that because I am not. But what have you got, Carl?
You know drinking?
No, I'm on Pepsi.
Oh, that's... Oh, I nearly said something inappropriate. I'm drinking a beer that Scott mentioned the other day on the podcast. It's from my 360 Degrees Brewing Company box. It's called Hold Me Closer, and there's a picture of a tiny dancer on it. That's pretty cool. And this is a cold IPA, and Azaka, Blanc, and Mosaic are the hops, 4.7%, and it's delicious.
It's cracking it.
It's crisp, light, refreshing, masses of flavour pumped into this for 4.5%. It really is. It's proper tropical vibes, but also a hefty dose of sort of lemony citrus, which is delicious.
Good stuff. Every beer in that box has been really good, in fairness. So,
Yeah.
hats off to the team at 360. When you listen to this podcast, should be Friday the 25th when you'll be listening to this one. The podcast that was released on Monday, you can go back and catch up. That was our episode with, I know it was not top 50, where we discussed the We Are Beers top 50 list, and whether we agreed with it or not. And yeah, go back and listen to that.
Spoiler, we didn't.
Yeah. And then next week, what did we record on Tuesday? I can't remember. Oh, that was what it was. The beer and movie kind of pairing.
We done beer and movie pairing, and we done the fantasy beer thing.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a shambles, but it's definitely one for watching more than listening.
Yeah, I think the last 20 minutes is I think we did. I think the beer and movie thing was actually all right. So I give that a listen on Monday. That'll be released. But yes, a new extra piece of content, short form content for you guys from us, the Beerfish Podcast. Like I said, working title of Foam at 5. Callum has just mentioned his beer. We're going to go through a weekend 6-pack, give you beers that I've taken a note of that I want to pick up over the weekend and enjoy, but also a chance to, because I never did it on Tuesday's recording
as well.
Oh, nice. We never did it on Tuesday. I never spoke about in depth the London Craft Beer Festival and gave it a proper review. So new venue at the magazine, right next to the O2 in London. So in terms of location and transport and getting there, super easy, really, really good. It's slightly further down the river from where they were at Tobacco Docks. Because in fact, I make it sound like getting to that one before was hard. It wasn't. There's like 2 stops before the O2, so it was at Canada Water would have been the stop you get off at, and it's now just 2 stops further along, closer to Canary Wharf. You literally
Is the O2 more of a hub though? Is there more? Are there more lines that come to the O2, or is it just the one
No,
line?
it's the same. It's the Jubilee line, I think it is. It's still the same line, but in fairness, actually, it does make it more. You can make more of a day of it, I think, because
All right.
there's the shopping centre outlet place that's there at the O2,
Right.
so you
Okay.
could go if you had an evening ticket, you could go and do your shopping during the day and then go, or vice versa.
No,
So
no, no. Did they go to
uh,
a beer festival and then go shopping?
no,
That'd be shit. That'd be shit.
it's true. But no, in terms of that, it's good. So the We Are Beer events, as always, are one of, if not the biggest beer festival events in the year. The London one specifically has over 800 beers and over 100 breweries. Zero chance you're getting around them all. 66 quid your ticket. I mentioned I'm undecided whether it's worth your money yet. I can't quite decide. I suppose if I really think about it, it actually is, because you get access to American breweries that you probably aren't going to get a chance to try. I know in the Taste of America stand, I got a can of Other Half, which I'm if I'm getting a can of Other Half here, I'm paying a tenner.
Hmm.
So I suppose that's a good thing.
Well,
Um,
I think the VR beer. I mean, I've been to two.
Manchester, Glasgow,
No, I didn't go to Glasgow. I think it's maybe just one.
Edinburgh. Is it?
But that format of buying your ticket and getting your beer
Mm.
is definitely. I think it's definitely worth
Yeah.
even up to like 70 quid if
Hmm.
you're going to be spending, what was it, 5 hours, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's something you could do like on a casual afternoon out with your mates. I
Mm.
think it's if you're going there to try beer as well as having a good
Aye.
time and speaking to people and you know whatever else. I think you need to be on it in terms of going around as many breweries as you can, trying as many beers as you can, to get your money's worth. But I think it's definitely possible. Um,
Yeah. No, I agree. It is possible. In fairness, I maybe for the first time kind of took my time a little bit more than what I usually do
mhm,
at these types of places. I'm literally, as soon as my glass is full, I'm walking about, I'm drinking at the same time. Right, where's my next beer? And
mhm.
I've still got half the one I've got left. So I think that maybe that weekend I took my time a wee bit more, kind of with a new venue, kind of try to soak it in and get opinions of it properly. But layout was really good. They had kind of two main indoor sections. You walk straight in, and in fairness, where the trade walked in was different from the general admission area. So general
Right.
admission came in from their entrance point was took you straight into the outdoor area, whereas trade took you in through into the building indoor space first, and the first brewery that met you was Verdant. So it was like, well, light bulb.
Mm.
Again, I'm walking straight into there, straight in having a what 2/3 of light bulb. So space wise, it was really good.
And
Nice mix.
did you find that they were giving you the wee tiny festival pours, or were they giving you a decent like half pint?
The pen. It was every brewery was different. In fairness, like went and seen Joe and
Well,
both Joes, Vault City Joe and Brewtown Joe, and they were obviously very generous with the pours, and then other breweries were doing the festival pours.
hmm
Um, so it was a mix. In fairness,
hmm
but layout overall was nice. I liked and you've seen it before, Callum, at the Manchester one. Breweries that obviously put up a wee bit more money, get a bigger space, and they try and do something fun with that space. Whether they'll have games and like
hmm
the magnetic darts or some like big spinny wheel thing. But from the tobacco docks was always a very tight space, very enclosed. But with the new area that they've got, they can open it up, and breweries are allowed to be a bit more kind of creative. So that was pretty cool.
hmm
Enjoyed that, and a good mix of the indoor and outdoor space. The only bit for me that I kind of preferred from the tobacco docks was because it was so enclosed and naturally how the layout of the tobacco docks is, you get lost. You can get lost, but then you'll turn a corner and you'll discover a brewery that you didn't know was there, or you're like, oh shit, look at these guys. They're hidden away in a corner, but it was never. You never felt like they were hidden in a corner, like, oh, they're not going to see anybody. It was like a wee adventure, which was always pretty cool. So like I enjoyed the tobacco docks from that standpoint. Granted, it was always, regardless if it was raining or fucking the sun splitting the trees, it was always a million degrees in the tobacco dock.
That's the
It was
problem there. Aye.
just
The open spaces are much better, I think, and I think it's better to have all the breweries in one big room, or a couple of big rooms, because I think sticking folk away around a corner and relying on people's sense of adventure to get them out there and finding things is kind of is a bit of a lottery.
No, it is, in fairness. The other bit, they're relying also on the weather always being decent with the outdoors, so that tobacco docks had a limited outdoor space. The new place at the magazine, it's a massive outdoor space. Like Sierra Nevada were out there, Buxton, Vault City, some of the big hitters were out on the outside space, and they all needed some like form of gazebo. So they're relying on the weather being half decent.
Had it been pissing with rain, would it have been really difficult for them, do you think? Or
I think it would have been.
right, okay.
And I think that's why they put the general admission entrance there, to make sure that people, regardless, go through that bit. If it's raining or not, which was interesting. Because if it was raining on the Saturday afternoon, everyone's huddled under the gazebos. So you're no, if you were outside, you were stuck until the rain stopped where you were. Which, in fairness, if you're stuck at Sierra Nevada or somewhere like that, you'd be like, Roger, perfect. But then people get pushed inside. The one bit I didn't like, and I felt like it was very detached. In fact, you'll actually remember this as well. Was the kind of tasting area and the tasting sessions. So you'll recall, Cal, from the Manchester one, when we went through the tunnel and it was on the right hand side on a set of stairs, and it was kind of out the road a wee bit.
It was the same room though. It was the same room, but it was like an elevated stage.
Yeah.
Right.
So with the old place, it was situated kind of in among the festival itself. So you would pass it. Regardless of what route you took, you would eventually pass where the tasting sessions were going on, that Johnny Garrett would be hosting, and then the breweries coming. So you could pass by, and they're in the middle of a session, you can join it. Whereas at the new place, it was, you had to go upstairs, and that was the only thing that was there, and it was out the way a wee bit. I never to the point where I didn't even bothered venturing up. Because I looked at the time, I looked at who was on, I was like, I'm no interested. But
and
before,
did you have to register for the talks? Or?
no, not at all. You could just walk up. But whereas before, like when I've walked past, and I've done it a couple of years, I've walked past and it might not be a brew that I'm interested in on when I look at it on paper. But if I walk past and I can hear the talk and I go, oh, that sounds interesting, I'll just jump in. So I kind of lost that bit of kind of spontaneity, kind of jumping in. But
well, I get that. But I think it's good for these things to be slightly away from the main hub and the main buzz, because what I found, I mean, the two places, well, the three places really that I've been to talks. One was in Edinburgh, and that was that was pre-COVID, so that was a long time ago, and that was in a wee auditorium. The one in Manchester, as you say, was in the same room, and I felt like the speakers were kind of competing a lot with, even though they had microphones and stuff like that, the speakers were competing with the ambient noise, the live music on the stage, and things like that, which made it really difficult. And the other place, which I think was amazing, was at Gravity last year, at Summer Hall. The tasting was in a lab next door to the main room,
that was good,
and it was quiet. You could hear everything that was getting said, and you could have conversations and discussions and things like that. And it was 20 minutes, and it was well worthwhile doing that. So
No, I don't
but
disagree.
I get what you mean. Like, that's relying on you, A, signing up for all the talks, or
Mhm.
B, being completely like hooked by what you're seeing on the list and saying, "Oh, I want
Because
to
it
go and see
wasn't
that.
really
I'm going to buy."
well like signposted, I don't think, or you had to like purposely go, oh, what's that up the stairs, and you'd see it. So, that's maybe my only gripe. And then obviously relying on the weather, like naturally push folk inside. But overall, in fairness, it is really, really good. I did enjoy it. Beer wise, Verdant Light Bulb, Sierra Nevada on cask, had 3 versions of that. It was Chinook, Crystal,
Cask or
and
keg?
cask.
Wow, right, okay.
Chinook, Crystal, and oh Christ,
Jameson,
Simcoe.
Simcoe.
Um, so single hop varieties of that, which was awesome. I just parked myself at Sierra Nevada and just bashed through that. What was the other ones? Brewtown were a standout. I spent a wee bit of time sitting there with Joe. Mega Surplus was ridiculous. Vault City as well. Bullhouse with their new branding that's just been launched. That was really good to see those guys. And of course, I had other half as mentioned. So, overall, it is really, really good. And new breweries actually to look out for that I came across. Beerwood, a brand new brewery who have not officially launched yet, but they were there. One of the New England IPAs was tasting very nice. Triple F, who hopefully will get on. In fact, we'll hopefully get all these on the podcast. But Triple F, very much cask, based in Hampshire. So they were doing really well. Blondies, taproom brewery based in London, like heavy metal kind of inspired outfit there, which is pretty cool. And then one of my favorite names, Booby Trap. They were they were there.
There's boobies on the cans.
No, there wasn't, unfortunately.
Oh.
But Booby Trap. So yeah, 4 breweries. If you've not, I'd never heard of any of them. But a couple of them have going for a while, like Triple F, and then you've got like completely brand new in the form of Beerwood. So ones to look out for, which is good stuff.
Lovely.
But lovely job. But let's do a weekend 6-pack. I wasn't necessarily going to pick 6 beers, but end up picking 6 beers, which is handy for the name of the segment. I'll let you kick yours off, mate, first.
Well, what I've done is, rather than like hunting new beers, I've kind of went with the beer fridge mantra of no thinking, drinking. And I've just said to myself, look, 1 or 2 shops, pick 6 beers that are going to be tasty and going to be solid beers. So the first on my list is one that I had on Tuesday. So if you're listening to this tomorrow, you'll get
Get it on Monday.
you'll get it on Monday when the podcast comes out. And it's called El Juicy, and it's a
What's on my list
Brewtown
as well?
beer. Yeah, it's a Brewtown beer, Aldi. Limited edition, I believe, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully it stays around. But I fancy, given the quality of the beer, 7.1 or 2%, and it was only a couple of quid for the can. So I fancy that's one of those kind of loss leading beers. So get it while you can, because it's tremendous. The second beer is Brave Hop Dark from Loch Lomond. It's one of those ones that whenever I'm in Lidl, I will buy a can, regardless. And it's black IPA, 6%, and it's just top drawer for a super. Not even just for a supermarket beer. It's just a top drawer beer. Next, I've went for double Budvar, so 1 Budvar and 1 Budvar Dark. Just because Budvar, we've said it so many times on the podcast that
I know.
particularly standard Budvar, I genuinely don't think, in terms of supermarket lagers, supermarket pilsners, I really don't think you can get many that are better than that. And Budvar Dark, just because it's tremendous. Then I've went for a wee 7 Giraffes from Williams Brothers. I could have put a few. I swithered about Caesar Augustus. I swithered about Birds and the Bees, but we mentioned it a few weeks back that whole range of bottled beers from Williams Brothers. There's a reason that they've been going for so long.
True.
There's a reason that they're in supermarkets consistently and for such a long time. They're cracking beers. And last is either a bottle of Old Jock or a bottle of Wee Jock. Just for sentimentality reasons, and I could sit and drink 6 bottles of Old Jock quite comfortably, but it's a cracking beer, a good Scottish strong ale. So yeah, that's my sort of no thinking drinking list of 6 beers that I would just pick up without thinking, and I know that I would just completely enjoy my evening just sitting coughing my way through them.
Definitely. I've got a mix of new and similar to yourself, kind of no thinking drinking beers. I also had Bruton El Juicy on my list as well. I think from the packaging saying packing body and dankness, expect melon, orange, and pineapple. And I think from your description on the podcast on Tuesday, it definitely does that. I am sticking local as well. Gun Brewery, based about 10 minutes away from me again. We've mentioned it before, support local breweries. And their Jug Heister, which is a silky smooth malt-based New England IPA. I've had it several times. I've had it in can, I've had it on keg, straight from the in the tap room, and it is just it's lovely. It's
looking forward to trying that.
It's perfectly injected with the right amount of tropical fruit for you sitting there in the sunshine at the tap room. So not too sweet at all. I
find that with New England's that it's quite. I mean, that's the El Juicy is billed as a New England, but it's definitely got enough dankness for it to just cut through that tropical sweetness. But I've often found like your session New England's or your sort of 4 or 5%ers, they're a bit too sweet and a bit too claggy. So after a couple, you're kind of just a bit move on.
No, you're not wrong. But no, in fairness, I could happily drink that all night. In fairness, I've a stalwart, like I said, no thinking drinking Sierra Nevada, just because like you can't go wrong. And then two new beers, and one new brewery as well. So local bottle shop Beerorama in Eastbourne is stocking a brewery called Cold Frame is the name of the brewery, based in Cornwall. The beer is called Bloom. It is a raw barley elderflower pale, brewed using raw single origin Cornish barley and foraged hedgerow elderflowers, paired with healthy amounts of oats, wheat, along with a single origin English grown hops. It's a modern pale ale with a story of the place it was made, and it is absolutely banging, if I do say so myself, is the packaging there. So up for giving that a wee go, almost farmhouse vibes from that. So low ABV, I think it's 3.4 or 4.1. But yeah, going to try and give that a go over the weekend. Next on my 6-pack, another localish brewery in the form of Umbard. They've teamed up with an artist called Thumbs, and the beer is called Super Smash. Hazy pale at 3.3%. So again, low on the ABV wise, but delivers a full hop flavor with hazy and ultra sessionable as the beer. Expect a luxurious, soft, pillowy mouthfeel, thanks to the generous helpings of oats and wheats, and citrus, pineapple, guava, and pine in there as well. So it's a nice kind of mix. Umbard always tend to be really good at these kind of lower ABV beers as well. The art on it is just insane. It does give Super Smash Bros. Kind of like vibes, hence the name. So you get a mixture of, there's like Wolverine mashed in with Pikachu and Bart Simpson and Spider-Man and stuff. So the artwork is crazy. the guy artist called Thumbs, his mind must be fucking I don't know. It's must be a mismatch. But aye, looking forward to giving that a go. And then the last one on my list is, again, for the no thinking drinking reason, is Full Circle and Looper. Just a solid supermarket beer that you know is going to be, it's just going to do what it says in the tin. Looper from Full Circle has been solid for years and years and years. And aye, that will be one I'll be going to the supermarket tomorrow to pick up along with a Sierra Nevada.
Well,
And maybe a Vault City. I'm on a Vault City vibe.
Another direction that I went in as well. I did a little bit of digging around, and obviously we're talking about no thinking drinking. There are some decent 10 packs in supermarkets.
All right.
And I've picked up I've highlighted, I think, two from Vocation and one from Tiny Rebel. Now Vocation do a crush hour, it's called.
Yes.
And it's like a session pale, 4.6%. 10 330ml cans for 13.5 quid. Which I think is pretty reasonable.
Aye.
I think that might be English prices, so maybe a little bit more in Scotland. But you're going. I think you're going to get your club card discount on that as well. And if you're wanting to go a little bit bigger, they've got Life and Death in a 10 pack, 330ml cans as well, 6.5%. And that beer is just special. Like, I mean, that's just, I love that beer. And the other one was Tiny Rebels Club Tropicana. And that's coming in around about the same price as your session Vocation, about 13.5, between 13.5 and 15 quid, depending where you shop. And 10 cans, 10 330ml cans, and it's a great beer if you're just wanting to grab something to go to a barbecue or go round your mate's house, or even in your own, just sitting, having a takeaway and watching the telly or whatever. It's just it's proper fridge filling beer, and as we've said a million times, no thinking drinking.
Aye, that crush hour. I've got a little local co-op that's walking distance, like 5-minute walk. And when I'm struggling for beer or I've ran out, there's a 4-pack of that in there. I'll pick it up every single time. And it is just that, it's solid. Exactly what you said. No thinking drinking. It does what it says in the tin. It's reasonably priced, and if you need a craft beer fix instead of picking up Madry or whatever other nonsense is there, then it fits the bill perfectly.
Ken, another one that I looked at was Green. I ken it's Green King, which is a bit more macro.
Level head.
Yes, level head, and they're doing that as well in a 10-pack. Again, I think it's 330ml cans. And I quite like that beer, mate. To be fair, like,
no, I don't disagree at all.
I think it's decent.
The one I want to try. They've got I think it's Tesco. I could be wrong. They've got a double level head.
Right,
Oh no, it was Morrison's. Right. There's a double level head, which I'll maybe try. Maybe give it a go.
Well, it's worth picking up a can, surely, just for research purposes.
Indeed.
Nothing else.
Well, that's true. That's very true. Like I said, shorter format than what we usually do, kind of longer stuff, but this will be going live and you'll be able to listen to this straight away. Unlike every other episode that you need to wait a week for, this is going up straight away. We will try and do more of these kind of shorter formats, but as always, wherever you do listen, make sure you please subscribe and get that ding-a-ling-ling to be notified of every single episode. If you have preferred this shorter format, leave us a comment. Hit us up on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that as well. Let us know your views and what your 6-pack is, your weekend 6-pack. But for myself and Cal, I appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheerio.
Bye.